This is Erodo Jumbo. In this tutorial, oops, I forgot to open up the tutorial. Just a second, I'll be there. Okay, so you go to jumbo.com. Okay, we see the article live. Okay, here we go. Let's start again. Hello, this is Erodo Jumbo. In this tutorial, I'll show you how to use GitLab inside a container. So before we begin, I want to let you know that every day I'm hosting a live stream. So what you do is you go to jumbo.com, you go to the watch menu live, and you see the current live stream is called Pod Container running Git platform GitHub. The channel it's going to be on, the day and time, and these are topics for future live streams. Also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. On some channels, I have put a quick subscribe icon. It's at the bottom right. You should be able to click it and you can subscribe. So thank you for doing that. All right. So GitHub is a source code management interface. So it's a version control platform, and all its components will be installed inside a container. We're going to use Podman. Now, if you do have Docker installed, I made sure that all the commands I'm going to use today, you can also use them with Docker. Why do I use Podman instead of Docker? It's because Docker does require some root, or if you're on Windows, it's called super admin or administrator access to run some things. Podman allows you to run as a regular user, so that's why I use Podman. Now, as you can see here, it allows the regular user to manage their pods, so the containers, without the need for root user privileges. Podman is free open source cost platform. That means available for Mac, Windows, and Linux to use as a replacement for Docker. By default, Podman also stores its containers in your home folder. This could be an issue if your home folder is smaller. For example, a lot of people have a very fast SSD drive to boot up their system, and for storage stuff, they put it on maybe an older, larger hard drive. It could be a hard disk, yes, magnetic disks, or it could be obviously an older SSD. So you might not want that. So I did create a tutorial. You can check my channel where I actually changed the path where you can store your pods or containers. And Podman, the first time I actually used it and made a video of it was when I used it to compile PHP. Yes, I did compile PHP for the Learning PHP ebook on jumboshop.com. So in this tutorial, we're going to create a container that uses the official GitLab container to run a web-based platform that provides a comprehensive suite of tools for software development and DevOps. For example, I'll assume that you have Podman installed on your platform of choice, and the latest version of GitHub will be downloaded and set up. So Podman can use any name for the reference. There's not going to be any Docker file or YAML required, so that Docker fans can also follow along, as I said before, just replacing literally the phrase Podman with Docker. That's all you got to do. So if you don't know if you want to know more about containers, what images are, what a Docker file, I all have here in what a YAML file is. For example, if you don't know what that is, it's a text file contains how multiple container applications can be built and run. So for example, if you're running like a LAMP stack, that's Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP, you could grab different images. So for example, one image could be PHP, another image could be MySQL. So what you want to do is you want to combine them. That's why you could use a YAML file. And then what is a Docker file? A Docker file is also a text file extension, contains a script instruction for building an image. So that's only one image. I've done this before. I think the last tutorial I did where I created I created one for WordPress, and I installed PHP, MySQL, and all that into one image. Okay, so what is a container? A container is obviously the software that contains all the dependencies for different computing environments. And what an image is, I'll explain this later. You actually see it's a standalone executable. You see that later. Okay, and obviously GitLab is it has a lot of features. You can actually use it to replace GitHub for your own internal. You can create users. I'll show you all that stuff. I don't want to just talk yap too long. Okay, so this is my operating system here. As you can see, it's an older system. It's an i7 2600, 16 gig of DDR3 RAM. I only have a 400 gig SSD. I'm running Fedora Linux workstation 42. It's GNOME desktop 48. And you see I have all the instructions here for you just to follow along. Nice and simple. So what it's all here. You can download the latest, how to download it. We're using the community edition. How to run, how to enter the pod, and how to start, stop, and restart your containers. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to download the latest version of GitLab. I already did this because it's actually 3.7 gigabytes, so it could be slow, so I didn't want you guys to be waiting maybe 5-10 minutes just for downloading. So I already did that. So what we'll do is we'll create our own you can also run that one to make it a persistent data. I don't recommend that because if it updates then you lose all your stuff, so it's always better to create your own. I'll show you how to do that. And basically you need to enter the Podman and to get the initial root password. And then you can navigate to your workstation, web browser. I'll show you all this. So basically this is how we're going to build our own, and then we can run it. As you can see here, these are screenshots, and this is GitLab. You log in, you can create a whole bunch of stuff. And I'll show you how to actually do all this today. So GitLab, as I said, is a post compatible Unix, Linux, Mac OS. And GitLab, the community edition, is downloaded from GitLab. So this is where you can go get it, and it will give you the instructions where you go and you can get it. I'm talking about the community edition. There's two editions. So remember, the community edition is licensed under the MIT license. It's a permissive license. The Podman itself is licensed under the Apache license, version 2. That's also a permissive license. All right, with that out of the way, let's get started. So I've created a folder here called GitLab. There's absolutely nothing. As you see here, it's completely empty. So I'm gonna just make this a little bit smaller because, okay, that's even better. So jump to the terminal here. Okay, I'll zoom in so you can see everything I'm doing. Get rid of this and clear. By the way, if you guys want to have a good laugh, you should actually watch the live stream from yesterday. There was a lot of stuff going on in the chat. It was pretty hilarious. All right. Okay, so the first thing you would usually do is you would go and you pull down the latest version of GitLab. I've already done this, and I can prove that to you. So if I put Podman and I type images, you can see I already got it, the latest version, and I got it, I'd say it's 2 weeks ago. I don't think it was that. Oh, 2 weeks ago? I think that's a little bit wrong there. I pretty much, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. So as I say, it's 3.7 gigabytes, so it's kind of big. So that's why I already downloaded, so we wouldn't waste time for today. Especially since I'm doing the live stream and uploading at the same time, it's it will be a little bit slow. Okay, with that out of the way, so we're going to create our own container. But before we do that, we're going to create some folders because these folders are going to be volumes which will be attached to the container. So this way we can work with the files locally instead of entering the container. So I'm going to make those files here. So you need the config file, and you need the logs folder, and you need a config folder, logs folder, and the data folder. So you see I've just created them on the command line. I could simply have right-clicked and do them here, but command line is just faster. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to create our own container, and I'll show you how. So basically, you type podman run. Oops, I wasn't mouse. So podman, obviously, you can change that to Docker, and then run. And then -d. -d is for detach. So we're going to use we're going to change the host name. So the host name is, we're going to call it gitlab.local. So what this is going to do is Podman by itself will use our hosts file. For example, this, if you're on a remote server, you'll be able to use a host file. Just the only difference will be the port number that you use. However, because I'm local, I'm gonna create one called gitlab.local here, and then what I'll do is I'll create the name of the my container. I'm gonna call it gitlab. Even so, don't confuse it between my name and this one here. This one is actually called gitlab -ce. So that's why I'm able to use GitLab here. And then the port numbers. So I'm gonna, the 8000 is gonna be on my machine. It's gonna be the port. It's gonna match its port 80 in the container. And the same thing with the. We also need one for the if we're using an SSL certificate. So that's usually 443. So that's why we put an 8 there. So that's how we'll be able to connect to it. And then, of course, if you want to SSH into your server, we're gonna also map port 22 to 2222 inside the container, and then the volumes. So usually, if you see all the instructions online, they'll tell you to use an absolute path. But I don't want to do that because I might. I'm saying is. I mean, you can do that, but it's an easy way. If you're on, actually, you can do this on Windows too, as long as you have Bash. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to use the Bash symbol to get to my local where I am right now. Then I put / the current path config. Okay, that's going to be mapped to the one inside the container, which will be /etc/gitlab, and then I'm going to create another volume. So this volume is going to be the same. I mean, the writing is going to be the same, and this one is going to be /logs, and we're going to map it to /var/log/gitlab inside the container, and then we're going to finally make our last volume, which is the data one. So the data one, this is where the repositories are. So the reason we also do this is because if something happens to our container, all we have to do is back up this we can back up this folders here, and we didn't lose any of our data. Then we can spin up another container. It's pretty easy. Okay, so we'll go GitLab. Okay, yeah, so that's GitLab, and then the image we want to use as a base. So our image is GitLab/GitLab CE. Okay, hope I spelled that right. Now if I press enter, it says you have to remove the container to be able to looks like I forgot to remove a container. I didn't realize I had PS all. Podman PS all. Oh, looks like I already had a container. I didn't realize I had a container here. So I'm going to delete this container. I didn't realize I already had one. So Podman, it's I think it's RM, and then you just get the ID of it or the name. So I think I can get away with the name. Yeah, there we go. So I've deleted it, and so I'm gonna create my own now. There we go. It's been created, and you see it has a different ID here. If we can check Podman ls, Podman PS, and you see we have this is the run and you see it's starting. So it does take a while to start. However, while it's starting, we can still we can actually log into it, so we don't waste time. From what I've noticed, it usually the first time it does this, it actually takes a while, sometimes up to a minute, because it has a lot of services it's running. But then after that, we can start and stop it much quickly. The first time it takes a while. So while it's starting, I'll show you how you can get inside there are 3 ways you can get inside the container using Podman, but one of the ways I'm not going to show you because I'm not sure if there's a compatible version for Docker. But the other ways is obviously you can SSH into it, and you can also before you SSH into it, you can type Podman execute or EXEC. Hello Ayush, I hope I said that right. Hello. Okay, what else? Somebody's in the chat. Where was I? Podman IT. Linux OS are you using? Fedora Linux. Fedora Linux. I use Fedora Linux, the latest version. That's 42 workstation. A GNOME desktop. What is it? T and Gitlab. That's the name of our Gitlab. And I want to use Bash. So if I type this, you see I've logged inside here. So what I want to do here is I want to get the root password. So the root password is found in this folder. It's cd/etc/gitlab. And if you ever forget that, you can see here it will say something like, so it says initial root password. So what I need to do is I'm just going to cut it out. Int. And you see here, this is the password. So I'm going to copy this password because we're going to use it later. So I'm going to copy that password. And I will, where is it here? Okay, so I'll just copy the password. Okay, there we go. I'll just paste it here. Okay, so I got the password. I don't need anything here anymore, so I can execute. If you need to modify anything inside here, most of the stuff is already. You don't actually need to do anything here because remember we mapped it here. So you just you can just modify the files in here instead. So with that out of the way, I'm just going to exit. I'm going to check to see if my my pod is up and running now. Yeah, you see it's still starting. It's 3 minutes and it hasn't started yet. It's still starting. However, what we can do is, yeah, it does take a while. I don't know why. Yeah, it's cool. So what about you? Okay, Ayush asked me what Linux operating system I use, and I told him I use Fedora Linux. Okay, so as you can see here, these folders, they do have files in them. For example, the data file should have nothing yet because obviously this hasn't started yet. But if you go to the config, you see this gitlab.rb, it's Ruby on Rails. So this is where you can edit things like, for example, the host name. Oh, shoot. Oh, yeah, I did change the host name. If I didn't change the host name, it gives this weird... oh, cool. Okay, so you want to try Arch Linux? Okay, good for you. What else is here? Yeah, so this is a Ruby on Rails file. This, where's my mouse? There's a glare. Where did my mouse disappear to? Okay, the other monitor. Okay, yeah, so this gitlab.rb file, it has some configuration like the host name if you want to change it, because by default, if you didn't put the host name, it would give this weird host name which you can't use to get to your to your container. Let me see, this should be up by now. Okay, perfect. Took 4 minutes. Look at that, 4 minutes to load to finally finish. So it's healthy. Now we can actually go log in. So what I'll do is I will. I wonder if I can use this browser. It's a privacy browser, so I'll see if I can use it. It was 192. Oh, it's actually localhost. You can just go to localhost. So let's see, http://localhost, and the port number we were using was 8000. Yeah, there we go. Now we can log in. So the first time you log in, obviously you're the root user. And you need to paste in, I think it's the last thing I copied. Yeah, so paste in here, and then click sign. Hopefully it works. Yeah, yes it did. So you see, I have GitLab up and running now. So that's not the end of the tutorial because we're just getting started. So now with that, you can see with GitLab here, it's really just like a version of say something like GitHub, but this you can install on yourself or on your own server. And you can see you can do all the other things. You can create projects, you can create groups, you can add people, you can configure GitLab. So and then you can do let's do some really simple things such as I'll do that on the command line. So let's look at this. There's some things I told you. I'll show you how you can also SSH into the server. I'll show you that later when we jump back to the command line. So for example here, you can, I'm going to ignore this for now because, and I'll also get rid of this. Okay, you saw the version of GitLab. So what you can do is, what you should do is you should create a user. I might have to drop down to the command line anyway. So the first thing you want to do is, you see, you never want to work at the root user. I hope I don't have to explain why. You should actually create a user so that if that user gets compromised, you can just revoke the access instead of logging in as the root user. So let's go to the admin. So this is the admin here, and you can see you have a whole bunch of stuff you can do as an admin. There's like you can have deploy keys. As I said, I'm not going to do this as a root as the root because for security reasons. So but I just want to show you all these things here. Like for example, you can do the continuous development here. You can look at the analytics. Obviously, there's nothing here. The one I'm more interested in is users. So let's go here first. You see there's only one administrator user, right? And it already created an example email address for me. So I'm not going to edit this one. I'm going to create a new user. So I'll create new user here. I'll just use my name. I'll just say Edward. Username will also be the same Edward. Email, actually, here. I'll just use my real name. Edward Ojambo, and I'll use usually it's edward@ojamboshow.local, and will be generally sent to the user. I'm going to create a password for this user. I hope I remember it, and then you can put all this stuff in here. So so you can click, yeah. So you can see here you can just click create user. So obviously that email address doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this user and give them a password that you can get special keys for them. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click edit here. And you see the password. So I'm going to create a password for this user. And I'll click save changes. And you can see here, you can give them how many projects. Hey, oh, sorry. Oh, thanks for subscribing, Ayush. I gotta go. I got a professional cloud exam at 12, preparing for that. Okay, no problem. See you, man. Thanks for joining the live stream, and thanks for subscribing again. I hope to see you see you again in a future live stream. Thanks again. Okay, let's continue here. So I said the project limit is 100,000. You can change that. And you can see here, you can also change this person to, say, an administrator. I'm just going to leave them as a regular user for now. And then obviously you can let them validate the account. And they'll be able to, you see when I log in as a regular user, I'll be able to do all this stuff here. So let me click save. Password, oh, the password was too short, I guess. So I'll just say, okay, so I hope I remember that password. Cannot contain commonly used. Are you kidding me? Jeez. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is taking me off. It didn't give me this much problems last time. Oh, yeah. I might need a password. Okay, so it doesn't want that. Okay, finally, I had to use my second name. All right. Okay. So anyway, with that out of the way, you can create project groups as well. So I'll show you how to do that. So remember, I'm still the administrator, so I'm going to create a new group here, and I'm going to call it what do you call it? I don't want to use that. Yeah. Okay. Supers. So you see, it gives it will give this URL called supers, and you see it automatically created the proper URL because that's what when you put the host name, it provide the proper URL, and then you see I made this group private, and then what you can do is you can add users to this one. See, it says you have to be a developer, and I think that user we created is a developer level. Let me see, yeah, developer level, and you create group. So it's supers, and I'm going to create one project in here just to show you that what happens here. So I'm going to create a blank project. You see, I can make it private or public. This won't matter because so for example, I'll call it super duper. Okay, and you see it's going to be this is how you get to it. It'll be supers and then super duper. That will be the URL. So what I'm going to do, it's private. So I'll create it privately there. So it's done. Now I can edit it. You see, it has an initial commit and all this stuff in here. Now you can also edit this. You can also edit it online by going here to edit. For example, you can use the web IDE right now because yeah, it's not found because of you see it says underscore IDE auth. I have to put some auth keys. I'm not going to do that right now, but you can do that as well. As I said, there's a lot of features. I could actually do like probably, no joke, like maybe like 6 hours just going over all this stuff. And you see it gives you how you can get it. You can get all this stuff here. So you might notice, hey, why didn't that work? I'll tell you why that didn't work. The reason it didn't work is because this, if you're going to use the HTTP, it needs remember we mapped it, so just be aware of that. This is wrong. This won't work. You need to map it to a specific what do you call it? We mapped it the way we mapped it. So for HTTP, this should actually be 8,000, and that's why. So that's one of the problems when you run containers. There's always a little gotcha here and there. Okay, so the other thing I want to do here is I want to show you how you can change users. So what you can do is we go to let's go to the general settings here for this project, and you see here it says visibility, project features and permissions. So if we click here, you see you can change it from private to, it's only private because the project is actually private itself, and then you can also add specific users here to this project if you want. And you can see here you can do integrations, web and access tokens. So if you want to do the HTTP or HTTPS, you have to create access tokens here. And what else is in this project? Members. So you can manage members here. Right now there's only the administrator. So remember we created one user. So what I can do is I can click invite members here, and then I can put in their address. There's only one right now, Edward, and you know, I give him a role, so I can give him a guest developer. So if I just leave guest, he'll be able to see it, but you won't be able to do anything. So I'll make Edward a developer here. give him a developer role, so you'll be able to get access to it. And I'll click invite. So Edward has been invited. So when Edward logs in, he will be able to get that. Or I think he sends an email, but obviously this email is not going to work because I put up only a local email that's not set up to work here. Okay, so there we go. And this one also inherit the supers. So I'm going to create another one, and you will see that Edward won't be able to access it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to, if we go here, I can click the super one, or you can click the dashboard as well. So I'm going to go back to the home page, and you see my projects. So I'm going to click on the projects. Yeah, so I wonder if I can, if I put 8443. I wonder if it created a certificate for me. Yeah, so it didn't create a certificate, so I can't use that. But one thing I know is I can definitely, so this should be 8,000, and we're not going to, just localhost should be fine. Localhost. Oh, it's using HTTPS. That shouldn't be there. Yeah, so this is the one here, and oh no, it's not what I wanted. I wanted the. Let's go back to the home page. I want to go and create, oh, just the supers. I should have clicked. Why can't I go to the, oh, okay, let's go back. Let's go to the home page. Where are all, yeah, projects. Oh, new project, sorry. It's a little confusing. So new project, I'm going to create another blank project. And this one is going to be not special. I'll call it not special enough. Okay, this one I'm gonna make it actually I won't make it public, so I'm just gonna create this project. I'm gonna keep it private as well. Okay, so this one, so remember I've created two projects. There's a reason I created two projects. I want to show you how the permissions work. Now without other way, I am going to actually log out of here. So I click this, and yeah, it's so hard to work with a small screen. There we go. So I've logged out. I'm going to log in as just a regular user, if I remember what my password was. I think that was it. Oops, yeah, I knew I would mess that up. Ah, got it. So it's telling me to update my password. Oh, I have to put the current password. Okay, I was trying to cheat there. Okay. What? Oh, okay, because I used my name in the password. Man, this thing is smart. I can't trick it. Okay, I'll just make up something. Okay, so we should be able to log in now. Make sure. Cool. All right, so I've logged in as a regular user. Now you can see the difference. If I go to the home page, you can see I don't have settings to make things because I'm just a regular user. So that's why I'm saying this is the secure way you should be doing this. So now, if I go to projects, you see I have no projects. If I go to groups, I have 0 groups. And I don't have access to anything because the admin didn't give me access to any of those things. And remember, he also made me just a regular user, so not even a developer. So I did that deliberately just to show you that I can't access those things unless you put the proper permissions. Now, if we have time today, I might log in and change that now. But what I do want to do is, I want to show you how you, before I create a project here, I want to show you how to, so I'll go to preferences here, and you see under preferences, I can change all this stuff like light, I prefer dark, and the diff colors. You can see you can change everything here. And of course, you can change your password, your emails. So here, SSH keys. We do need SSH keys. It doesn't allow you to. So I'm wondering if it can generate keys for me. That would actually be easier than I don't have to do it on the command line. Because I was going to do it on the command line and dump them here. I'm wondering if it check the current instance configuration. And it's actually smart. I tried it. I tried to use the same keys as a root user. It detected it. So if you add keys here, can it generate for me? It doesn't generate for me. That's kind of that kind of sucks. So I do have to drop to the command line. I think it gives some instructions, add a key. So learn more. If you click this, it will show you how to. Let's click that. It shows you how to generate the keys and what type of keys. You can generate the key pair here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop to the command line, and I'm going to do it a little bit different because I want everything in one place. But this is how you do it. You see, it's local. It went to the doc, and yes, it did all this stuff here. So I'm not going to do it this way. There's a reason. I'll tell you why I'm not going to do it this way. Just a quick backstory is that a while back, a client's website got hacked, and I was hired to resolve it. But they were using like an old version of SSH, most likely why they were compromised. So I didn't want to put those keys and everything into my SSH key folder. So I found out that you can actually put the keys anywhere and just get to them. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. All right. Because sometimes you might want the keys maybe on your USB key or something like that. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to minimize this. We're back on the terminal here. And I'll go to the GitLab folder here. You see there's nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate some keys. So the first thing I'll do is type SSH SSH key gen. Oh, come on. Key gen the RSA. And the encryption strength is 2048. So it's telling me where do I want to save it. So it's by default, it's going to save it in my home folder, and I don't want that. So I just want it to be saved locally. So I'm going to call it GitLab GitLab RSA. So it wants me to enter a password or empty, so that's up to you. Just because I don't want to enter password right now, so I'm not going to enter password, but you should if you want to. So I didn't enter password, just because this tutorial is taking a little too long. I want to go as quickly as possible. So you see it has created this one here, and it always creates, it created the key and the public. It's always a key, a private key and a public key. It always does that. Now, in order to log in, remember I promised you I'll log SSH into the server. So I'll show you how to do that. I am going to use nano here. I'm going to call it ssh.config. If you notice, the keys are here. They were not stored in my home folder. So SSH in there. Host, I'll say GitLab. Okay, then host name. I'll just use an IP address because it's localhost. The user, the default user is Git. And identify file. So we're going to use our GitLab RSA file. RSA, and our port number is 2222. Okay, so I've created this file ssh.config. You saw how I created it. Now, in order to log into SSH into our server, so what you do is SSH and the file, so -f, the SSH to so ssh.config, and then git at Gitlab. Oh, it says identify file. Oh, identity file. I spelled that wrong. So let's change that. Yeah, identify file. It's identity file. There we go. So let's run that again. And you see, oh, the reason it failed is because I forgot to put the key. I forgot to put the key inside. So, so what you do is, I think I should open this up in a text editor. Let me open up in a text editor here so you guys can see. So this is the key here. All right, so let's go back here, and you see it says you dump your key here. So what key titles are publicly available? So if you don't know what key to add there, let's see if it tells us here. It should tell us what type of key, generate a pkeyr, and the pub that is created. You want email address. I didn't do that. Enter, configure, blah blah blah. Then update your key to remove, generate a key pair. What does it tell me what key I'm supposed to add the key? Okay, it says your public key. So you don't want to do your private key. Your private key is one you keep safe. You never want to, so it's your public key. I just want to make sure that it gave that information. So if that's, so this is our public key. Oh, no, that's not our public key. So I'll close this and drag and drop our public key in here. So it's pub, the one that says pub. So all you do is you copy that, paste it into here, and you see it used my default. I didn't give it an email address, but that's fine. I don't really care. And then, oh, we can give it a title. So this title will be, I'll just say Edward. That's fine. You can have multiple keys. I'll just say Edward for now. And you see it has a, if you don't want an expiry date, you can just X that. And you see it's used for, you can do authentication and signing, authentication and sign. So if you don't know what this means, is that authentication means you just log in. And obviously, you know, you do your normal Git stuff. Signing means that you sign, for example, if you're going to do a release, that's how you sign it. So by default is authentication and signing, that's fine. So I'll click add key. And you see the key has been added and it expires never. So now, if I go back to the command line, I should be able to log in now. You see it's failed. And the reason this one failed is because it's looking in the wrong place. Oh, there's a key in my, I need to move the key as well. I'll do that in a second. So another thing you should always do is you should make this, that one, and then I need to go and remove it from my known hosts here. So let's go do that. I wonder if that's safe for me to do. Will I trust you guys? You know what? Let me go remove it on, just in case. It's not like I don't trust you guys, but I might have some keys which are sensitive. So I'm going to, yeah, I definitely do. I have like a bunch of client keys here. So I'll go to line 20. Yeah, here we go. There's actually a few of them, so I'm going to delete both. Actually, I'm going to delete all of them. There we go. Yeah, it's a good thing I did that. There was a whole bunch of keys for client stuff. So if I try this again, I should be able to, yes. There we go. So I was able to successfully log into, you see Gitlab, it says at Edward, connection is closed because you can't SSH, but that's one way you'd be able to SSH into the Gitlab instance. So now with this, I'll be able to I'll be able to do git pulls, git pushes, git clones, and everything like that. And I'm going to prove that to you. So let's just minimize this for now. So that out of the way, I'll go back to the home page. I'm just going to create some projects here. I can create groups, but that doesn't matter. I'm just going to create some projects quickly here. So I'm going to create another, you can create from a template. So let's see what, see they have templates here like the Ruby on Rails, Spring, Node.js, iOS, as you can see, plain HTML. Actually, I think I should use this one. I'll use this one as a default. And you see there's Kotlin native Linux. I'll use this HTML one. Which one was that one? This one, plain pages, plain HTML. So I'm going to use that template. I click use. The name I'm going to give this one is Superfly. Oops, what happened there? What the? Okay. What's going on there? What in the world is going on here? All I do is I'm pressing shift and it's like going away. Oh, it doesn't let me. Oh, it doesn't let me. Oh, the name. Okay, sorry, that's a template. Okay, that's why. I should pay attention. Okay, so I call it Superfly. The description is my first project. And you see the slug is Superfly. And this one is actually correct. It has the correct URL. And I'm going to make it, I can make it public or I can make it private. It does. So I'll make this one private for only for myself. I should have created the other one. So it should give me instructions on how to clone this and everything. So for example, if I scroll, you see the code here. It says I can clone it by going to git at gitlab.local. Obviously, I'll need to put the port number, which would be 22222 there. Or I can get it from HTTP. And again, you could get it, obviously, the port number would be 8000 or 8084 if I had a SSL certificate. And you can see here, it's giving me all these things, how to use this. So I'm gonna clone this, and you can see it has 1, 2 files and a public folder. I don't know if there's something in the public folder. Yeah, there's something in the public folder as well. So it's fantastic. Okay, now without all the way, I'm gonna show you how to clone. It's called what? Superfly. Go back to the command line here. We don't need this anymore. Okay, go back to the command line. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so that you can see what I'm doing. I also want to put this folder here. I'm actually going to, I'll keep the folder there so you can see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is, we call it Superfly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the git shell command. So I'm going to copy. I'm going to clone that folder. It says the project you're looking for could not be found. You don't have permissions to view it. Is it because it's a private? Oh, wrong one. It was Edward, not Clouders. It was Edward. There we go. You see, I cloned it. You see, it cloned Superfly. And if we go here, you can see, oops, wrong. Yeah, GitHub. There should be a Superfly. Yeah, I see there's a Superfly folder. I cloned it. And you can see there's a public folder. And I think there's a hidden file in here. If I press Control H. Yeah, see there's this hidden file. And you see it has this Git hidden folder as well. So that's how you clone it. And obviously, you can also do a push and all that stuff. And so the reason I used the SSH, the specific config is that, remember I was telling you about doing backups. So most likely, if I was working, obviously I wouldn't put everything in the same folder here, but I'm saying that I could simply back up everything just there and continue work anywhere. So it would be easier, because if I do it the other way, I would have to always have my computer or copy my keys, and so this way I prefer doing it this way, because let's say my workstation gets compromised, my keys would still be safe somewhere else. So that's why I like to do it this way. So as you saw, I did clone it. So I did so the location of the repositories, ironically, are in this folder data here. They're in this one here. This data folder is where the it's where the repositories are stored. The way GitHub stores all of them, they're in here. So as I said, like if you destroy your GitLab instance, you will be able to get everything back. Everything here is here. So for example, if I accidentally get rid of this instance of GitLab, which I can, I'll be able to get everything back. And I think that's the last thing I'll do before we close today. So obviously, as I said, you can. This is a private repository. You can also get obviously make it. I made it private, but I could have made it public as well. Then it'll be open to everybody. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to log out, and just to prove my point, I'm going to log out here. Click this icon, and click log out. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. Oh, it's too. Yeah, it's too. Okay. It's almost been an hour. I don't want to do it, but basically, you can trust me that when you if you destroy the GitLab instance, the container, as long as you have those folders outside the container, you'll be able to start again from a new instance, because all the configuration stuff is there. So with that out of the way, I will show you how to destroy it. So if we go to Podman PS, it shows me this one is running. So what I need to do first of all is to stop it. So I say stop GitLab. So once this stops, then I can remove it. And that's what I'm going to do. Come on. Yeah, so it stopped. And for example, if I say Podman PS, there's nothing. Podman PSA, there's absolutely nothing. The only one is this assets. You see, it exited whatever, so some time ago. So what you do then, you just say Podman RM to remove, and then you can just say GitLab, and it got rid of it. So, and you can prove it. It's actually nothing there. But remember, we still have the images. So if you type Podman images, we still have this image here. So to remove that image, you just say Podman RMI, and then you can say GitLab /GitLab CE. Or you can use the ID as well. You can also use this image ID, and that will get rid of it. But now if I say Podman images, you see it's gone. There's nothing. So I don't have any containers. I don't have anything. However, I still have my configuration stuff here. So if I reinstall it, I'll still have all my configuration stuff here. As you can see, oops, where's GitLab? Here we go. So I still have the GitLab, and I still have my cloned folder, the Superfly. Okay, so that was that's probably one of my longest tutorials. So with that out of the way, let's finish up here. So every day I do host a live streams. Visit ojambo.com for details. What you do is you go to the watch menu, live sub menu. You can see this current live stream is called Podman Container Running Git Platform GitLab. The channel it's going to be on, and the day and time. Be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. You should see a simple subscribe icon at the bottom right of your screen or the video. So appreciate if you could subscribe. And if you enjoyed this, consider supporting me. You can purchase one of my WordPress plugins at ojambo.com. You can enroll in my programming courses at ojamboshop.com. You can buy my programming books on Amazon. Search for Edward Ojambo, links in the description. You can also hire me for all your programming and app development needs at ojamboservices.com. And you can also become a donor at ojambo.com/donate. The donate button is also up here in the fixed header. Okay, I'm checking the chat and I don't see any more chat requests. So I'm going to end this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.